Our approach is really to meet customers where they are. So if we think about the exchanges, market participants have been very clear they want dedicated data centers, and we strongly support that. But when we come to data, it's different because you have customers all over the world that want access to the data. So we offer CTO Global Cloud, and that's a streaming data service which allows customers in Asia Pacific to be able to see what's going on in the markets in the US. We've also innovated with partners like Snowflake to be able to do data sharing. So it's much more efficient than shipping files around, and we can much more quickly get data to customers without copying the data. And so we offer things like a minutely open and close report, which needs to be updated very frequently.
How has SIBO handled the record options trading?
Thinking about volatility and the volume that drives, we don't wait for the volatility to happen to prepare. We're planning for it constantly. It's a core engineering discipline that means we're doing years of investment continually. We have a data platform and streaming platform that provide us with near real-time data to allow us to monitor all sorts of parameters and be able to adapt accordingly. We make sure we build and maintain our platforms for 2 times the biggest days that we've ever seen. And then we're constantly thinking about scenarios that we haven't yet seen. So from a capacity perspective, that's one side, but there are also things like risk control, so thinking of market-wide circuit breakers, drill-through protections, and those types of things that make sure that we avoid the worst disruptions. And then beyond that, we're thinking about education. Options are obviously a powerful tool to do things like reduce risk, generate income, and improve risk returns, risk-adjusted returns. And so it's important that investors understand how to use options properly so they can benefit from those strategies. And then the last thing is really, this is all about teamwork. So we're constantly working with market makers as they provide liquidity under pressure. We're thinking about investors reducing their risk in real time, broker-dealers, clearinghouses, and clearing firms, all working together as designed. And that's how we end up with resilient markets.
What is driving the demand for timestamping services?
As our markets have become more performant and deterministic, customers are asking for more transparency, and the timestamping services were a response to that. So they can really see what's going on to their flow, and they can understand where they would need to invest. We're continuing to invest in the area significantly ourselves. So, for example, we've put in White Rabbit time synchronization, and that takes us really down to the nanosecond for accuracy. That's what's required. We think actually that might be an interesting service to offer market participants so they can be synchronized with us and understand even more what's going on. The next innovation that we're looking at is capturing timestamps right at the edge of the network. So what that means is as soon as data hits our network, we'll be able to see the timestamp of what's going on. And also when we send back responses and market data, we'll be able to see at that point as well, and that gives us a much fuller picture of what's going on and be able to share that with customers.
How is SIBO leveraging AI?
We see AI as a productivity accelerator. We're using it from HR and sales through to software engineering and security. We've also integrated AI with our data platform, and that gives us some really interesting insights, both for customers and for us internally. I think the interesting thing is that data underpins the AI strategy. We set up an AI Center of Excellence in 2024, and that isn't just a development hub. That's also a resource firm-wide to make AI more accessible and more available. So the net result is that you see associates typically using AI on a daily basis, and we're now seeing agents being deployed across SIBO, particularly in the areas of infrastructure and cybersecurity. The approach we're taking is really twofold. One is through making the tools available in the way that I've discussed, but also education, and then making sure it's a grassroots team-led strategy. So most associates have AI objectives to be achieving every year, and we're also looking at training and educating. So we had a senior management training session, and that enabled the senior leadership team to really understand that AI isn't just technology, it's a mindset shift. And then we have a couple of other interesting things going on. So we have a network of AI champions, and that's really about learning to use, and as AI changes and adapts and develops, they share success stories and develop AI together. And then the other fun thing we've done is AI Olympics. So that's teams of individuals coming together, they prototype some ideas, and then we judge them. And actually the successful ones, it's not just a round of applause, we go on and implement the ideas, and that's yielded some really interesting results. So the bottom line is we think that AI is going to accelerate our productivity by broadening the adoption, making smarter applications, and helping us accelerate productivity and growth.
Do you have AI compliance for the company?
We have an AI governance group that are making sure that we've got strict controls around that. We have our internal AI platform has strict privacy controls and entitlements, so we're making sure that the right people can access the right data. The controls we're typically leaning on are the same controls that we always use. So if you think about software engineering, we don't just generate code, build it, and throw it into production. The developers will use the AI agents to be able to build the applications, but it's still up to the code review processes, QA testing, to make sure that what we're doing is correct.
What will be your focus in 2026?
Continued innovation is one aspect, but also optimizing the core, as we talked about in our Q3 results. The big focus will obviously be on that options product development roadmap. That's a key point. We're also thinking about 24/7. We're just seeing markets continue to extend trading hours, and we need to make sure that Titanium is ready to go for that non-stop trading. So we're planning on building out that infrastructure. We're also updating our binary order entry protocols. That's Cboe v3. That's a much more efficient and performant protocol, so it'll extend the kind of determinism of performance there, and we'll see that rolling out into the equities and options markets in the US. And then we're also then thinking about tokenization. We see a lot of benefits from tokenization around the 24/7 trading again, the atomic settlement, and the management of collateral. That's an area we're really focusing on in clearing and thinking about in our SIBO Clear US. One other element is the securities financing transactions. That's a service that we've rolled out to SIBO Clear Europe. We recently announced that BNY is coming onto that service. They're acting not only as a agent lender, but also doing third-party collateral agents, and that opens up the product to UCITS clients, which is a major increase in the amount of assets that could be part of that solution. So we'll see that expand in 2026. The team there have really implemented some interesting technology, and the platform itself as a product is interesting. So watch this space as we expand into more jurisdictions and more securitized lending.